with you that I was going to be going live a little bit more, try to get some interaction, some engagement, some opportunities for you guys to ask your questions. And so this evening, what I wanted to do is just talk about what's actually happening in Houston real estate today. There are some great opportunities. I've got my notes in front of me, yet I'm going to be watching the screen so that way if you guys have quick fire, just some questions that you want to work through, talk about, just kind of even just share perspectives on. I'm here to help. I'm going to hang out as long as I can. Yet, let's just jump right into it. So, one of the things that we use is the language of real estate. A few key factors that we're paying attention to just to understand what's happening in the real estate market beyond the headlines. I'm out in the field, and so I'm so grateful that I actually am able to have conversations with real people like you that are looking to make a home buying or home selling or even an investment decision. The way that we're able to consult and not speculate is looking at the data. So here are a few of the numbers that we discussed. Number one, home sales price increases or decreases. So looking at that median price point, days on market, and the amount of inventory that we have. Okay, so I'm gonna go through some numbers and some statistics. Guess what? This is just a conversation. One of the reasons why I desire to do lives is because I trust if you're watching this, you feel comfortable like putting in questions in the chat, and then I can just help kind of expand on something. Not looking to truncate information into 15 seconds or 20 seconds, whatever does well for the algorithm. This isn't about the algorithm, it's about you. So, all right, let's talk about home sales. So, home sales have increased 3% year over year. Here's why this is important, right? The reason this is important is because so many people are talking about what's happening in the market. The market's going to crash. I saw a post on Threads talking about the market's going to crash. However, if you take a look, man, I totally got distracted with a call. I'm not gonna stay on here too long, but here's what we're talking about. So many people are talking about the market's gonna crash. I was on Threads. Somebody was like, "Oh man, I can't wait for this to happen." But here's what the data says. The data says that home sales have increased 3% year over year. So you might say, "Well, Chase, how is that even happening?" Because if the economy is, people are getting laid off, people are losing their jobs, how is it that home prices and home sales are still increasing? Now, here's one of the reasons, I believe. Number one, have you ever heard the quote from Warren Buffett that talks about when everybody's fearful, be greedy, when everybody's greedy, be fearful? When people look at what's happening in the global economy and decide to sit on the fence, it creates opportunity for those that are looking to take action. Plain and simple. And so one of the reasons, and this is just from my personal lived experience here in Houston, Harris County, working with real buyers and real sellers. So this isn't just coming off of sound bites of ChatGPT, right? We are negotiating more opportunities for buyers in assistance with their closing costs, down payment grants. I mean, we're being able to help more families get into homes right now. Now, in a seller's market, that's sometimes more challenging because you have more competition, right? If I'm selling, this battery case, if I'm looking to sell this battery case and I'm like, "Hey man, I'm just trying to get rid of this battery case, it's $5. Now, if you don't need a battery, you might not buy it. But if we're at a conference or something like that, your phone is dead, right? I'm going to have more demand for it. So that same phone may go for $10, $15, maybe even $20, okay, right? That's what market we're coming out of. If you remember the pandemic when rates were really low, the objection there was what? People were having to offer more than asking. People were getting in multiple offer scenarios where they were having to either stretch their budget or go beyond their personal comfort zone. And the reason why they were able to justify it was because money was cheaper. And so most people buy for the payment and not just the sales price. Well, now because the market is stabilizing, what we're seeing is that, like I said, buyers are getting more assistance to get into the home. The sales price may be higher, yet my advice is that you find the best buy for your budget. You know your numbers up front and stay within that monthly payment that you're comfortable with. So that's why we're seeing home sales jump 3% year over year. Number two, we talked about inventory. I just talked about inventory. So what I'm talking about when I say that is if we didn't list any more homes for sale, If builders didn't build any more homes, how long would it take for us to be completely out of housing? So in Houston, Harris County, right now, our inventory is at about 5 months now. A balanced market is anything between 4 to 6 months. And that's really what you want, right? We don't want the pendulum to be like during the pandemic when we had like 2 weeks of inventory, 1 month of inventory. That's when it was like you didn't have time to think. You were in multiple offer scenarios. You had to get into the house that day or you may miss out. What we're seeing now is that buyers are able to not wait, because we still selling homes, but they're able to think about it, right? Like, I don't know how many of you guys can relate to a market when you had to decide that day, right? You had to decide that night. The next morning it was gone, right? That's low inventory, okay? I got one battery pack. It's 10 of y'all. All of y'all phone is dead. I got one. That's going to run the price up. You better decide right now. You either want to charge or you don't, right? But let's just say I got 10 of them. And it's only 3 of y'all that got phones dead. Okay, well, these battery packs are going to sit. Now, I still may sell them, but I may not be able to sell them for $25 like I was when it was 10 of y'all and 1 of me. That's real estate, right? The homes are still selling, but there are more homes than there are active buyers right now. And that's why buyers are winning. Okay, so then we're talking about, I'm going to show y'all how all of this connects, right? Then we talk about the days on market. So our days on market is from the time the sign goes up, and this is for my sellers. This is why this is important. Excuse me if you hear my yard guy. He just showed up. This is why days on market is important, especially if you're looking to sell your home. Most people need the net proceeds from the sale of their home to buy their next one. Now, this is why real estate is a tool. This is why money is a tool. When you buy a home without you doing anything, just time, you just living in the house like you do now, your home is appreciating in value, okay? So it's not jumping a lot. I'm not saying that you're going to buy a $250,000 home today and next year it's going to be worth $450,000. It don't work like that. That would crash the economy if it did. But every year it does increase about 4%. So let's see, 400,000 times 4%, that's 16,000. So imagine every year your home is increasing in value by about $16,000 conservatively, okay? Different markets have different things. Well, if you're looking to sell your home and you know that you've been in your house for 10 years, right? So maybe your home is appreciated by $150,000, $160,000, right? $16,000 a year over the span of 10 years. So now you got $150,000 worth of equity, right? You're going to use that equity, which is the current sales price of your house, minus the amount that you owe, like what we can sell your house for, minus the payoff balance, and you're going to use that towards the purchase of your next home, right? So you're going to take $100,000 and you're going to say, you know what, the next home, you bought the house for $400,000, family is growing, job going well, you want, bigger house, more rooms, next house you buy is $550,000. Okay, well now you got this equity of $100,000 that they didn't cut a check for you for when you sold that house. You take that money, maybe you go put that as a down payment on your next home, right? You say, okay, I'm going to take $50,000, I'm going to put it on this house, so I'm not financing as much. I'm going to pay off debt. I'm going to put some money in my savings, my Roth IRA. I'm going to put some money towards my child's school, whatever it is, right? Here's the point of all of that. If you know it's taking about 52 days to sell the house, 60 days, well then you want to know that your timeline fits the market. So this is why we say don't wait to sell your home. If you know that you're looking to move, if your job, you got to get there by September, well then you want to go ahead and put your house on the market now. What's going to influence that is the condition of your home and your pricing. This is not the market where you want to test the price. Why? Because earlier I shared with you guys that buyers have options. So if you're selling this battery case for $35 and don't nobody want it, or better yet, somebody on the chat hops up and they're like, I got a battery case too, but I'm going to sell mine for $25. Well, guess what? She's going to sell her case and I'm going to be stuck with mine. That's how real estate works, right? So like I said, I just wanted to share this because here's what this is important for equity and cash flow. And this is how people are building wealth. Number one, if you are a buyer, number one, you have more choices. So if you're looking to sell your home and move up, a lot of times, sometimes sellers don't want to put their house on the market until they find the next house, because they're like, I don't want to be in between homes. Okay, well, now you have more options. There are more homes for you to choose from, whether you're talking about new construction or resale. Builders are offering crazy incentives. Sellers are willing to negotiate on repairs and closing costs. So you have more leverage, more power. And then you also have less pressure to waive contingencies. So we also saw that, right? During a seller's market, an extreme seller's market, buyers are pressured thank you so much. Buyers are pressured to waive their inspections, to shorten their option period, which allows for due diligence, to waive for appraisals, which helps them kind of win the deal. And sometimes that might just be the matter of the market. However, if you're a buyer right now, you have options. And if you are a seller right now, well, you have equity, and you can use that because the market you sell in is the market and you buy in. And so I just wanted to hop on here. You guys, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let me know if this helped. My goal is to hop on here, not for a long time, but just enough to make sure that you guys are understanding real estate from a different perspective. And of course, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. When I hop on live again, I'll make sure to answer each one. I'm Chase Sloan. I make Houston real estate easy. If you guys are looking to buy a home, sell a home, or refer someone you know, then like I said, reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram, Threads. It's all Chase Sloan. I'll talk to you guys soon.